Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome into the Union Arena tier list. Today we are going to be ranking every single deck in Union Arena, all the way up to Fullmetal Alchemist. Joining me in the video is the homies D and R from the DJR Union channel. Doing this in like a part 1 and 2, especially because of how long the tier list was. So if you want to check out the second half of the video, check out part 2. Link to their channel in the description. But this is going to be part 1 of the two-parter series here, so hopefully you guys enjoy. This was a lot of fun to record, and I feel like if I did this alone, it would have been not nearly as fun as well as not as insightful, because I don't really know every single deck in the game, even though I do feel like I know a lot of them. And again, it was just a lot of fun bouncing back and forth ideas and rankings and stuff with the homies. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Shout out again to the homies DNR for joining me today. And also, we had some issues with the recording, long story short, so if you think the audio is a little bit weird, that's why. So yeah, sorry about that, but overall, hopefully you guys do enjoy.
Let's do it, man.
So yeah, so top tier through D tier. Again, I don't think any decks are F tier. I can win with some of these on a bad day, on a good day. I'll get a win eventually.
Exactly.
But yeah. Listen, maybe they're waiting for their volume 2s regardless. Yeah, let's start with, I guess, yellow. A great one to start with. We'll start with the yellow Bleach, bro. Yellow Baja. So, I mean, have you guys seen where this deck has been lately?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Since the start of Volume 2, Yellow Bach, at least in my scene, has kind of like fell off a little bit. I don't see a lot of people running it. I'm more so seeing people run the other variation of Yellow Bleach with Giselle and the upgraded Bambietas and stuff. I'm being perfectly honest.
Oh yeah, I was pretty much just gonna piggyback that. Yellow Zombies has taken everything by storm, but I will say that I do think Baja does have a lot more what's it called, viability now that Volume 2 is out, because he does have that extra support, that extra oomph that does bring him to a good like mid level of deck, really.
Yeah. I think like Volume 1, he was definitely like D tier, but yeah. Oh, well, so that's kind of, it's like a 2-for-1 there. Zombies is cooking. Yellow kind of just took over because you can't kind of mix them. I've literally seen people running the is it Uryu that literally has like a Baja support in his text, but they're just running him in the Zombies deck just for whatever his other abilities. So it's like clearly Zombies is probably like top tier. Would it be a top tier?
I would say
we can move these around. By the way, we can move these around.
I was gonna say, I mean, this is our first one. I'm okay with putting it in like A tier for now, and then seeing if we can push it up to top tier based on like our other ones.
And then Baja, I wouldn't say it's like B, probably like C. C's solid.
C looks like a good thing for you, but like I said, you don't see it as much. Not saying it didn't get stronger, but you're just seeing more Bambietas and Zombies and Giselles more than Baja.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, the biggest like thing that sets it back, especially just from Volume 1 and its main cards like Baja and stuff, is it's a lot of like 2 action points. It's a lot of setting up with big energy plays. And at the end of the day, dude, in my opinion, just to start off the tier list, the best decks are very simple in Union Arena. You're either removing stuff consistently more than you're just outside of your specials, or you're board rushing like crazy, getting cards set to active way faster than your opponent can even get energy generated. And then the third one, my favorite, getting 7 attacks in one turn somehow.
Yeah, like you said, it's like you either killing a bunch of enemies, flooding the board, or just going wide. If you're good at doing those 3 things, then you are in the upper echelon of decks. If not, your utility is just not carrying you as much as it can do.
Yes, sir. And yeah, I think with that, dude, that pretty much, I think that's a nice little starting place for where the decks are going to be lying. So A tier for this, C tier for this. I like that. This is our personal opinions. We could do a million tier lists. We could poll 1,000 people. But we're never, this is we're never, not everyone's gonna always agree on these, so just wanted to mention that.
like I said, there's nothing wrong with having like the basic conversation, because like I said, people in the comments might know something more about the decks than we know, because like I said, maybe we don't play these decks as much as other people do.
No, yeah, I don't think enough play test with how many decks there are and how much decks come out, how fast there's not enough playtesting to be done to truly determine which decks are the best overall. You know what I mean?
Like, you have so many people with so many different creative minds that they're finding ways to make some of the worst decks very viable, and you can't really account for that with just like a handful of people doing so much research.
Oh yeah, no, literally 100%, dude. Outside of unique deck builds and really like debatable decks, we've got Squad Zero and Renji Rush from Purple. which are both just absolutely disgusting decks. I guess there's also I guess Getsuga Tencho. I mean, you make Getsuga Tencho goes into the Renji Rush more than anything, right?
Yeah, more so because with the Squad Zero, you're using the what was her name, Sujimaru or something kill spell, and that variation to carry a lot of your additional kill power.
Yes.
I just realized we don't have Byakuya. Are we throwing Byakuya in here?
I mean, we can. He is his own kill spell. If I'm being
He
perfectly
does have
honest.
his own special, bro. That is
Yeah.
true. Let me get him. Cool, we're good. All right, we're back. Byakuya was here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What are y'all talking about? Y'all say what's in there?
What do you
Exactly.
Purple's right here. Obvious. All right, so Byakuya aside, we'll get to him. We've got Squad Zero, which is kind of like the definition of top tier.
Yeah.
And Renji Rush, like we were just saying, bro. We've got deck consistency with insane removal and draw power, and a lot of raids, which comes down to board rush, and then just pressure. And then with this one, just bodies on the board. Again, removal, because at the end of the day, it's crazy. Your sideline getting built up, and these just from natural play, and you poppy these abilities. It's wild, dude, and it's just actually helping.
Exactly. It's just so much of pressure to have with the deck. Not only so much of pressure, but also just constantly rushing down your opponent. Your opponent does not have enough time to really react to what's going on and find a good measure of counteracting it before having to be like, all right, I can't set up my play because I'm about to get hit in the face for damage too. So now I need to make this inconsistent play to prevent damage. And what that's going to do is just lead to more misplays down the line.
Yeah, and like one of the bigger things too is that when it comes to you playing on the defensive, you killing off their Renji or their Ichigo in the case of Squad Zero, they still have their turn. You're using an action point to slow them down, but you're not able to use that action point to keep up with them. So they're able to just run away with the game.
Oh yeah, no, it's disgusting, dude. And then just like the raids, like they're just playing 4K bodies, but when the raids do come online, there's still raids and effects, and it's just crazy.
Exactly. So if you're like if you're matching up against decks like these, you need to think to yourself, do your cards 2 for 1 your opponent, 3 for 1 your opponent. Because all you're doing is doing a 1 for 1 while your opponent's doing 2 and 3 for 1. So you're going to lose out to that exchange every single time.
This is the definitions of top tier. Very consistent decks with removal and board pressure and very great options. And yeah, just great decks right here all around. I wouldn't say any... I was going to mention that maybe them having good color triggers is good, but at the end of the day, all the triggers are good. Like, that's not going to bring a deck up or down, right? Yeah, besides yellow.
No, yellow triggers just way up there.
Exactly.
They break the deck, but the other ones don't really change the deck too much. They either work or they don't. Let's see. Purple Byakuya. What were we saying about him? So yeah, basically Purple Byakuya. He was here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't get any support in Volume 2. Again, I was playing him in Volume 1 and I was having fun with him, but when Volume 2 came out and we're in like a new meta with better triggers, more options to put into the deck and stuff like that, I feel like, what did he get? Like 1 raid target and that was it for his deck?
I mean, I guess technically you could consider the Orihime that we got some type of benefit for Byakuya, the one that lets you put the top 2 cards of your deck into the sideline.
Right.
So, like, that does have a little something to boost him up, but if it was the Rukia one that you can put in as a 0, that, you know, turn 1 you're putting cards in your sideline, that would have definitely brought Byakuya up more, in my opinion, but I just agree, he just did not get enough support in
compared to
Volume 2.
the other decks too. Like at the end of the day, when you get overshadowed by decks in your own color, it's kind of it.
I'm gonna be honest, I think the main thing that like could have held Byakuya back, honestly, is the fact that we did not get the 0 cost Rukia in the Volume 2 set. Well, because the thing is, it's like, if you would have gotten the 0 cost raid for the Rukia on top of the current raid Rukia, you had a lot more consistency with raiding, being able to draw cards and being able to flood your sideline a lot more to really capitalize off of Byakuya's effect, which is, at this point, it's just a bootleg version of Roy Mustang, or like the beta version. You can, like, yes, it does have the ability to decrease the BPs of your opponent's character, but it's not as consistent and as dominant as the Roy Mustang is capable of doing right now, because you'll still need to pull up follow-up support cards like, say, Soy Foam. Shout out to Soy Foam, my pride and true, to like, say, utilize her effect to be like, all right, I'm going to decrease your BP, but then I'm going to use her effect on top of that to kill your character on the follow-up turn. And honestly, it's too slow in my opinion. It's too slow. With current decks are able to do so much more, not only on your opponent's turn, but also to just protect themselves from such effects.
So does that make him a D tier, or is he C tier?
I will say he's C tier.
I feel like D would be a little bit too harsh for him. I feel like he does have some game plan still. It's just...
Oh yeah, no,
until
definitely.
he gets until he gets Zero Rukia, or until we get the Bleach collector box, which comes with those extra cards in October, we probably won't see much of Byakuya for a while.
Right, right. And again, I think at the end of the day, if there wasn't one of these two decks that was standing out so much, let alone both of them in purple, he might be a little bit higher up. I think that does affect him, unfortunately. I mean, these guys are definitely in their own decks, but at the same time, I personally ran them together in a deck together. Kenpachi and Ichiro. I mean, I think they're just both. I mean, are they both top tier decks? I think they're both pretty insane. I don't know. What do you guys think?
If I'm being honest, I would say after utilizing and playing Kenpachi for a bit, especially if you run him with the variation between Kenpachi and Unohana, I'd say he's a solid B tier currently. And I'm gonna turn some heads with this one, but I think the reason is because yes, he has a solid game plan. You want to get him out on the field, you want to rush down your opponent, and you want to get that damage through. But I think it's more so along the lines that you need a good pilot that really understands what the deck is trying to do to really capitalize off it. Because if you're just playing the deck flat out, there are so many situations where you can miss out on an extra 2 and 3 damage on your play, versus being like, say, oh, I did 2 damage this turn, compared to be like, I could have done 5 damage this turn, because you didn't sequence correctly or you didn't recognize the situation that's happening before you. So not only that, but I feel as though, at least if you saw the video where me and you kind of went at it, I kind of made this deck without color triggers, and I feel as though when you introduce the color triggers, the only color triggers that exist for green, if I remember correctly, are the Toshido, which of course will work more in having Toshido as a prominent as the primary for the deck, rather than having Kenpachi as the primary, if that makes sense.
I was gonna say, have you tried it with Toshiro though? Because that's a crazy combination, dude. And my favorite part about it is, I don't know. The only thing about Unohana, because I did enjoy using her in Volume 1, that 6 cost raid is just that she's a 6 cost. When you play this combination, your max cost is a 4, and it just feels so good.
Yeah, I will give you that. Like having a high ceiling of just 4 drops as comparing to a high ceiling of 6 drops, that gives you so much more room to utilize other utility cards and utilize other powerful cards that help you either flood your board a lot more consistently, or just being able to apply more pressure against your opponent, because you don't have to worry about trying to generate get the 5-6 energy and run a lot of 2 energy cost cards. Be like, hey, I can just run 1 cost cards, or run this 1-2 energy cost card, leave it on the background. I can start pushing stuff to the front as I need to, as my front line is taking over.
So yeah, funnily enough, what I was gonna say was actually along the lines of what you were saying. I was like, I do see Kenpachi as a B tier, but mostly when you do play him like without the Toshiro. Once you add Toshiro in with his ability to rest your opponent's front line and be able to have them stay rested, now you have extra attacks coming through with the damage and the impact and stuff. So with them working together, they definitely push each other up higher. But when they're separate, they're not really that much. I feel like Kenpachi is a little bit better than Toshiro though, because Kenpachi has the tools, he has the damage, the impact, all of that, while Toshiro just has the rest. He doesn't really have much else outside of that. I would put Kenpachi, like if we like listed it in order, I would put like Kenpachi at top and Toshiro as like bottom B tier, maybe top of C tier. But other than that, if you wanted to like put them together and like count them grouped up, I would push them up towards like A tier, maybe even like close to top tier.
All right, well, let's put them. Well, okay, since top 15 got top 15 with them in the same deck, let's put them both at A tier and say this is assuming they're in the same deck together.
Yes.
Because I do feel like with Unohana, you're having to cut too many cards to make her work. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, like, in my opinion, the fact that Toshiro still has the only freeze in the game that's until the start of your opponent's next turn. Like, there's so many situations where Yellow One Punch is now offline, like, completely. What do you call it? There's so many situations where, like, they're not just pushing up now to attack, you know what I mean? So I think I think he's still a nasty card. Putting them both together is really good.
Yeah, and you make a pretty solid point right there, because we can't forget that One Punch Man is still pretty viable in the current meta, and the biggest thing that makes him a problem is the fact that he cannot be targeted by any kill spells, and that really is the nice little icing on the cake that pushed the combination of this deck up to the next tier.
Good old green old man, whatever his name is.
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. What are your guys' thoughts on Yamamoto? I've seen him pop off, but I know he's takes a lot of energy.
Once he gets going, he is a definite problem. Because if you play him with, like, say, the two Shushuis, the one that gives damage 2 and the other one that gives double attack.
Double attack, yeah, volume 2, yep.
That is scary, because keep in mind, what Yamamoto does is that when he's rated, he not only pushes himself to the front line, but pushes everybody else to the front line. And then when he swings, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure every other character on the field gets an additional 2k BP on top of that.
Yeah, and he's a 5k, which if you get that on defense and he's still alive is always nice.
Exactly. So imagine this, you have a Shushui with 2500 base BP double block, and another Shushui with 2500 base BP damage 2, all of a sudden get jump up to 4500 BP every time they're doing your attack phase. And you're swinging wide with 4k plus bodies. How the freak are you going to defend against that?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's not really much ways to defend against it, especially when you have the Shunsui that has double attack.
Yeah, double attack, yeah.
Like having more than one of him on the front line that pushes up with Yamamoto, that is a lot of pressure for your opponent to have to deal with in one turn.
I think we might have our first B tier contender then, potentially.
I agree.
Yeah. Because the only way to beat Yamamoto, in my opinion, you have to race him. You have to try to kill your opponent, put your opponent in a bad situation, like either 2 or less life, before Yamamoto hits the field. Because once Yamamoto hits the field...
but there's also, like, once he gets his attacks off, once his turn's over and it goes to you, doesn't it just take a special in your hand to get him off the board, and now his 2500s that were 4Ks are stuck at 2500s, and he pushed up his energy generation? I think I've seen that once before too, so... that's the only caveat, I think. Once Yamamoto's removed, it loses a lot. But there might still be a good amount of support in Volume 2 that really makes him more viable too, outside of just that double attacker, I'm sure. What was it? The dog dude? Didn't he get a raid?
Yeah.
No way he doesn't go in that deck, bro. That's got to be pretty solid, right?
Oh, 100%. I feel like he does help support on the defensive side of things too. So that way, if you do lose your Yamamoto, you still have someone that's able to help you protect your life and keep you a little active until your Yamamoto can come back out.
Right. Mm-hmm. I like B.
Yeah, B's good. Yeah. B's good.
Cool. If there was, that's the only other thing about Union. Like, same with Kurapika, and any deck that says 6 or more energy, it's like, you're obviously going to take a couple more turns than any normal deck to set up. If you get the wrong matchup, then, like, it's a deck that's swinging fast or swinging a lot in one turn, like, you might be cooked, unfortunately, if you're taking long to set up, or you brick or something. That's the only thing about the big energy generation decks. There are a lot of fast decks to just outpace you.
Yes. So you need cards that be able to cheat cards out, like the floor cards out, in order to, like, save on action economy, to be able, like, say, to cheat your way to that higher energy cost.
Right. All right, now Blue Ichigo. This is actually the one deck that I played a bit out of these 3, and I was really wanting it to be good, and I thought it was going to be gross, and it does have some really cool turns, but I just feel like it runs out of steam fast, and, like, I don't know. It's like a good B tier deck in my opinion. I feel like it does need the support from Rukia and stuff that I never tried out, or like the Renji and whatnot, but I think it does get overshadowed by, like, this Rukia deck. What do you guys think about Ichigo?
I have to agree, because I did build Blue Ichigo as well. I have to agree 100% with everything you just said, because there will be times where, like, the way I built my deck, I'm going through my deck real quick, thanks to His Name is Zangetsu and other powerful cards, and then I realize I have no way to finish off a game easily. Mm-hmm. So it does cause, like, a lot of extra effort on my end to try to squeeze in an attack or squeeze in, like, something to just try to do a little bit of damage to the opponent, but I can't round out the game as quickly as I can going through my deck unless I would have some extra support from someone like Rukia or Renji.
You guys pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. Like, say, it's good that the deck is going through it's good that the cards in the deck you're able to cycle through your entire deck to do the utility of it. However, what's all this cycling if you don't have an option in your deck to finish off the game?
Yep. Yeah. There's that. I'm gonna put him at B tier. I think he's above Yamamoto because he does have that, like, rush potential, and the draw power is insane. I have a lot of fun with those abilities where, like, you trash a card for an ability, but the ability's kind of insane. So it's like, oh my god, I just did this for free. So there are some really, really cool turns with it. But man, it's just like you do all that stuff, you're feeling great, goes to your opponent, and then they're playing one of these top tier decks where they just remove 3 of your cards. You're just like, what do I do now?
Back to ground zero.
Back to ground zero. I don't have a raid Ichigo. Time to start drawing again. Here we go. Like it's just unfortunate when you have other decks like that. Oh, and that was the other deck I forgot to mention that really stands out to me when the effects pop off is playing out of your sideline, bro. When you have a lot of cards in your deck that are like play a card from your hand or sideline, and you can revive cards, dude, it's really nice being able to do that. Those decks stand out.
Oh yeah, extra big. Because there's just more bodies that you're able to flood the board, just pressure your opponent on top of that.
Yeah, every deck runs out of steam. That's my favorite part about the Yellow Brothers deck, dude, in Full Metal, is like, bro, they don't know what to kill. Because I'm either going to revive my Alphonse with an Edward, or I've got that event card to just revive both of them. So it's like, take your pick, man. All right, Blue Rukia, have you guys played her? Because I've only heard great things, but never really saw it in action.
This one is more of my alley because this was the one I was really hyped to play. And I would say Blue Rukia, I would say she stands at me personally, I would put her at the bottom half of A tier because she's one of those decks that you have to sequence correctly in order to bring out the true power of her, because you play a lot of 2 AP cost cards that if you play them in the correct order, like say for example, if you play I say your 2 energy costs Biapia, it now makes your Rukia cards 1 less energy. So now your raid Rukias or your utility Rukias are able to come out for free and able to start utilizing their effects, and you have that extra energy to use for something else. Like say you follow up like say the 2 AP Reggie because you save the AP, or you use a restand AP to capitalize off of it correctly. So it really is a sequence type deck. And if you go ahead and you pair that with say a little bit of the draw utility from the Blue Ichigo, you not only are you able to build up a board to lock down your opponent, but now you're not running out of steam because now you're drawing into more answers or refueling your hand to do the same thing all over again, essentially.
Nice. Dang, well, I think that pretty much sums it up. Funny enough, that almost reminds me of the Blue Briggs deck. Because have you seen the Blue Briggs? It's almost exactly what it's doing. It's got like all the 2 action points, but they're not really 2 action points if you have the right cards. So it's like you either have really good plays or you have these hands that cost way too much to not do enough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like you do have to have like a lot of thought processes going behind it, because you can't just like rush in. Like you can't just pick up a deck and play it. You have to know what your cards do and how they work.
That's literally, like Yellow's sisters, for example.
Oh,
you get that deck to a beginner, they're gonna be like, what do? I have 30 different options.
Exactly. You need to know your lines. These are the type of decks that are good once you play them a lot of time and you understand your lines. Because now you know how to maneuver against the nonsense and the brain deadness of your opponent.
Does it have a lot of removal outside of the special, or like double attacks or like extra attacks or anything?
Its main strength is the Rukia is able to not only rest your opponent, but keep your opponent's characters rested for as long as Rukia remains face up on the field.
On the front line, or is it field?
Front line. It's front line.
Okay, yeah. Still though, that's pretty good. That's right. Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then Blue Mayuri. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't played the deck too much. I haven't seen a lot of people play the deck too much. I'm gonna put it in D tier. Honestly, that's just gonna be.
Oh, he's slapping it in D tier.
Real
quick, viewers, they're the Bleach boys. They know way more about Bleach than me.
Hey,
break it down. What's going on with Mayuri, bro? What's going on?
To be fair, Mayuri does have some strengths. Like he's able to recur from the sideline a lot. We
like that. As we were saying, strength.
The problem is that you're killing things off way too much on your side of the field to get anything done. Yes, because all your characters have win sideline stuff and sacrifice other card stuff. So if you don't have the right cards at the right time, you will be dead in the water.
Okay, it runs out of steam if you don't have the right. So yeah, it's one of those like I see those decks as like Exodia decks.
Yeah.
You can have the 5 pieces and it'll look great, But
But
but if you don't have those 5 pieces on that turn, it's not gonna look fantastic.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Hunter x Hunter. All right, now, granted, I don't know if we even mentioned this, but if it's not obvious, we're doing this right before Attack on Titan and right before Hunter x Hunter and all that. So it is about to get some buffs. Some more than others. I'm hearing Kurapika gets like nothing in Volume 2, apparently.
yes, yes.
He does. He gets absolutely nothing.
There's gotta be
Exactly.
like a green double energy generator.
No,
that's good
we
for the
don't need
deck.
that.
there's
No,
gotta
we
be.
don't. We don't need it.
Look,
We don't need it.
Look, we literally get at most, I believe it was another thing that we can raid on top of.
Nope.
But I'm pretty sure it's for like the Gon and Friends deck though, huh? Like the effects of it.
Yeah, because it's all based on, oh, if this character has Gon, Killua, or Leorio in their effect, then he gets this, that, and the other.
Gotcha.
Kurapika
Damn. Well,
needs to
funny
die.
enough though, I still think the deck is crazy. Again, sort of like the old man. If it does get the time to set up, it can be disgusting. The amount of like snipe and impact is just devastating.
Kurapika is F tier.
And the fact that like realistically it can pop 8 impact snipes in a game, bro, it's so gross.
No, that deck needs to die. Get it out of here, bro.
No, dude, that's what's scary though. That's what I mean, bro. Give it a couple turns longer than you can afford, dude, and it's over, bro.
Hey, screw Kurapika, bro. All my homies hate Kurapika.
No, I love Kurapika. You would have hated me at locals, bro. That's all I'm gonna
Bro, I
say.
got PTSD. The first 2 months, all we had was Bleach and Hunter x Hunter, and I'm here
no.
rocking my purple Bleach. I'm thinking everything's sweet, and I see this Kurapika quick scoping me across the freaking match, bro. What is
Doing
this?
360s, no scopes. on you, bro.
Exactly, bro. I'm like, so you're just gonna top deck an Emperor's Time, slap this Raid Kurapika, all of a sudden it's a 7K with impact and snipe. What do I do
What do you
against
mean
that?
neon into a search raid? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
Bro,
not that
bro,
powerful.
Not that
y'all trolling me, bro. Get
Listen,
this deck
all I'm gonna
out of
say
here.
on the receiving end, when you're playing the deck, it can brick. It has bad triggers. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
Anyways, but with that aside,
I'll let y'all decide where Kurapika stands on the tier list. I'm putting that junk out there.
we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
But Gon from Blue, Hunter x Hunter. Let's see. Have you guys
Specified
played slots? I
slot.
like slots.
I love slots. That was my favorite deck to play when the game
I
first
really
came
wanted
out.
it to work, man.
I got it to work very well.
Yeah.
It took a lot. It took a lot though. So it's like very specific. It's specified, so to speak.
Fair enough. Oh, and the
and-
specified slots suck. That freaking Digimon, Torimon, whatever the fuck he is. Yeah, like I don't want to include this dude, but I need slots.
Yeah, I know, for real. Like it's really tough. I honestly ran even risky dice just so I could have a slot. Just for the
dude,
chance of the
my
deck to work.
final build on slots, actually, and I probably was not. It was fun. It was fun when it worked. Was more risky dice and what was his name? The Boro dude, who you can look at the top card. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly.
Bro,
what you're
you
talking
splash those into slots, man. You can do a lot of stuff, dude.
You know, that's
Yeah.
funny. I didn't even think about running it leaning towards risky dice more. I literally just had it based on Gon and Killua just building off things with the strip of beach and trying to draw a lot of cards and just hope that I can hold on to my
Both were a struggle,
my
to be
necklace and other stuff. Yeah, it was
Both were
very
a struggle.
It was a
But
very
I'm
tough
hearing,
deck.
I mean, again, we could say this about every set, but Volume 2 is around the corner, so it is going to be getting some awesome buffs. But with where it stands and where it's been in this meta, it was like a D tier, man. Do you think it's like a D tier or it's like a C tier?
I barely have experience with this deck
Hey.
because it was all a
I have a bit of
first month
experience.
thing.
Hey,
But it almost won a tournament at our locals. Only reason it didn't win was because of a misplay.
I can't have y'all disrespect specified slots like this, man. I can't put it in D tier, bro.
Oh, God.
Bro,
You want to
alright.
put it in C tier, bro? All right, hold up. Load up Card
Yeah.
Kitsune.
I was thinking C tier as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I think this is like, I think
It is
this.
good when it pops off. Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think this thing could be like low B tier, bro. Like,
Oh. You're a little crazy. Listen, Volume 2 is around the corner, and then that's a whole nother
Bro.
conversation. Yes. There's
Bro.
more slots
Bro.
being added, yes.
because you gotta think of it this way, man. Specified slots is good at doing one thing super well, and it's just searching and digging so far into your deck for these cards. So, and like this, and on top of that, you're also playing the Gons and the Killuas that also get benefits for how many specified slots you reveal, and you have cards that literally grab all those specified slots together, because you really just, you want to get your Gons, you want to get your Killuas out of the field so you can start swinging in them and getting that impact, getting that damage too, to start pressuring your opponent. I will say the deck is a little slow to like get started. Don't get me wrong, but if you know what the deck is trying, I feel as though this is one of those other decks that it's a toolbox deck and you have to really pilot it well. But when I was playing that, like I said, I'm the person who made the misplay in that tournament, and that's
He's like, I was
gonna say that.
I'll be the one to. I'll be the one to admit. I'm gonna be real. I had that game beat. I had that game won. My only mistake was just I was so tunnel vision and I did not realize I had a kill spell in my hand to freaking finish off the game. That's the only reason I lost. But yeah, the way D designed the deck is that he ran a 2-2 split between Angel's Breath and Jajunkin. And I really like that. I loved how he did that because it gave me the Monster Reborn revival tools that I needed, and it also gave me those kill cards when I needed them, to save up when I actually needed them most. Because that carried me throughout the entire rare battle where everybody and their mother was freaking playing stupid Kurapika. I'm like, F that, I'm getting through all that nonsense.
It's tough after that, because here's my gripe with the deck, and here's why I'm locking it in C tier. It ain't making it.
Y'all crazy, bro.
Here's why. It has one raid, Killua, one single raid, and you can raid out a sideline with it, can't you?
Yeah.
With Angel, but that is sick. Yeah. So that is nice, but outside of that, that Gon needs to, you have to be able to play him on the energy line, but you can't. Has to be on the front line. That sucks. The specials, as we were talking about, you're kind of forcing yourself to go down to 2. So your only other removals is Bisky. So if they're not running raid cards, that one specified slot isn't a removal anymore. So now you don't have removals. I just think it lacks enough removal and like speed to get good. You know what I mean?
I will give you that. I'll give you that.
Dude, on top of that, it's just that damn Torimon, bro. Because we need all the different specified slots, right? And that dude sucks, dude. Like with Volume 2, we're going to be getting other specified slots, and they're going to be better. And that's going to make the deck so much better, like all around. I'm pretty sure, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, in Volume 2, we also get a Gon that raids. So.
Oh, okay. In blue?
Yeah, in blue.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I haven't looked at that yet, so that's good to know. All right, well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna get good, and again, we could say that with almost every, like Red JJK. I guarantee it. Give it a year whenever it drops, Volume 3, it'll be amazing. But
trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Hey, I mean, have you seen where the season ended? Yes, it's gonna play into red, obviously.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide this time.
But yeah, it is a fun deck, and when you high roll into a lot of slots and you have a hand of 15, it's a good feeling.
It's so good.
Right? A legal hand of 15. It's so awesome, man.
Exactly.
All right, Bomber. I think, isn't he like also like C? Like he's not unusable, but he was definitely missing some important things.
I'm gonna be real. He might as well be D tier.
Yeah, that one I would say D tier because I
thought people liked him more.
I 100% loved Bomber and I wanted to make it work, but I never could. And
so
I tried to fit build
slots more.
I do like slots more, 100%.
Okay.
But the only reason I don't like Bomber in
blue decks,
specifically in Volume 1, the only reason I didn't really like him in Volume 1 is because he's extremely slow. Like specified slot was kind of slow, but Bomber, if you're not getting what you need, it's a lot slower than if you're not getting what you need with like a slot deck.
And it's a removal, if I remember right, he's a removal card, which is great, but it caps at 35, right?
You're running Risky Dice with Bara, which is one of the bombers. He pretty much allows you to look at the top card of your deck, and then if it triggers, you get to lower your opponent's cards and stuff.
Oh,
but if it doesn't, you can put that card on the bottom of the deck and then try to like roll the dice again, so to speak. And that's why Bara was like my safe pick for starting off my chain of looking at the top card of my deck before I activate all the effects.
Right.
But without Bara to lower the BP, Genfu's trigger when he comes out, or his ability when he raids out doesn't hit anyone.
Oh, and it's when played, so you get one opportunity, and it's like, do I save this whole 4K raid body because of this one ability? Yeah, I can see it. I can see it being an issue. Because if he said 4K, or if there was more like guaranteed ways to get your opponent's 4Ks down to 3, he'd probably be a lot better, I'm sure.
They get an insanely good card. It's called Out.
Yeah.
And pretty much, you know the drawback for risky dice, right? If it's not a 2 or higher card, you have to kill a card on your side of the field.
Oh, right.
Well, Out allows you to change that to pick a card on your opponent's field to sideline.
Field or front line?
Front line. My fault.
Okay. Man, I'm waiting for the day for that power creep, though, bro. That's gonna be a day of power creep where cards start saying field. It's gonna be scary.
But yeah, the thing, like I said, I totally agree, and it's like I said, Blue Bonner just revolves around Boro, and the thing is, there's just not enough of him, or there's not enough effects to trigger off being able to look at your top card and knowing what it's going to be.
It's just a little too risky and not worth it.
Yeah, it's more.
And then you raid, you're wrong, and then it's like, well, there goes my raid.
Exactly. See, this is why I like Specify Slot more, because if the game goes long and you cycled your entire deck, you know what cards are on top, so Risky Guys just becomes infinitely better.
There's your problem, though, dude. More than like half these decks are like, I'm trying to win by turn 4.
Yeah. I can hope, bro.
It's scary because, dude, there's so many decks that want the game to go long, and if only. All right, Krollo, dude. I really had fun with these 2 decks. But man, Krollo had some setbacks, and again, Volume 2, I think it's all getting fixed. Yeah. Like he couldn't target other Krollos, and not just that, but his Krollo search cards made you bottom deck your Krollo raids. I hated that, dude.
Yeah, it was the worst.
It was so bad. But the wind blades are sick. I love the theme of it too. With the spiders, it's so sick. Using their effects, using their abilities. And I'm assuming if there's any more good ones, there's already a lot of good options. I just hope there's more Krollos, honestly, in Volume 2. But I think overall, it's a decent deck. It just C tier, maybe D.
Yeah, I would okay with C tier for Krollo. The thing is that to make Krollo C tier, you have to include a little bit of the Zoldyck family in there, specifically Illumi. Because Illumi allows you, one, to get that additional draw power to find your other spiders, and also as another way to, like, say, force your opponent in a pick and choose situation, be like, hey, it's either take damage 2, if I remember correctly, or I draw 2 cards for Illumi.
Right.
So if you mix the 2 decks together, I could definitely see it in C tier, but I'm gonna be honest, on their own, they're at this point in the game, they're like D tier.
Yeah, I saw some good combinations with the 2, but whenever I tried them, I don't know, it just didn't. Like whenever I tried mixing them, I just ended up going like full Zoldyck, because it's just like they have way more options and it works better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one of those
but
decks.
I do like the splash of it.
Exactly. It really is one of those decks, like you said, like you need to see your pieces. If you don't see your pieces and you're just dealing with all the other fluff, you ain't getting nothing done, unfortunately.
It's crazy that Krollo search mucking you bottom deck Krollos, like you can't grab them. It was such a bad feeling, bro.
That's to me, that's just so garbage. That's just poor card design. And honestly, that's one of those situations where it's like, okay, this is like towards the beginning of the game. They don't really, the people who were making the game didn't really know what the deck was going to do. So it's like, I'm sorry, but you should probably PlayStation Cross a bit more.
Some bad wordings there. Hisoka I thought was going to be a little better, but he's not. Yeah.
That's the one I was about to bring up, was the Hisoka. Like 6 energy, 2 actions. He has impact, which is great, but like other than that, he's not really carrying the Phantom Troop at all. He's not.
If I remember correctly, oh no, you don't have to play him on the front line, but with the 6 energy cost, it's so hard to play him on the back line and like it'd be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because like odds are you're removing a card. There's no way you have 3 double energy generators unless you get lucky. It could happen, but
exactly.
Yeah. But you just have to get lucky. And
by the way, the alts are really fucking clean for.
Oh yeah, the alts were amazing.
Yeah,
I have some of them. They're so nice. But yeah, like even this card, he like gets limited to 3 KBP in his effect with like a 3500, no trigger, 2 action points. Like this is like the definition of like a day 1 card, man.
Exactly.
So not worth 2 actions right here.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it,
dude. Yeah. So power creep hit this instantly. Basically. But again, there are some variations with Zoldyck that can go crazy. Now, when it comes to straight Zoldyck, I don't know if you guys have seen this deck, but it's put in some work. It definitely stands out.
100%, bro. Illumi himself, just like really, like just off of the raid alone, you can just like convince anyone that the Zoldyck family deck is a really good deck, because he has that capability of having the damage too. He has the ability to pretty much force your opponent into a choice of, pretty much, if that person dies, I get to draw 2 cards. So when I'm swinging in with my damage 2, are you going to take the 2 damage, or are you going to block with that one character that is the only one on your field and allow me to draw 2 extra cards?
And on top of that, it's got multiple cards that play into just like guaranteeing that getting that ability off. You've got the snipe on the dad. I forget the names. What's his name?
Yes. Silva, I believe.
yes.
Silva,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can, like, if you're really like popping off, you can have him ready to push up, because he's not a set to active. That is unfortunate, I won't lie. He's not a set to active, but if he's on the energy line ready to push up, you like a Lumi Raid, because there's a lot of energy generation in that deck too. You can snipe the character that you selected for the effect, or even better, you've got that the grandpa. He's so nuts, dude. He's got that card where you just rest him, and then you get to sideline a card. So like you can guarantee to get that draw 2 off, and then if anything, you're opening up an attack for the damage too. I think the deck goes crazy. Oh, and then it also got the Killua support, that new double energy gen Killua.
Yes, bro. That Killua,
And it changes the deck.
alone just made the deck like a lot better than what I even thought it was going to be when the sets were first coming out.
I don't think Illumi on his own, at least as of right now, is B tier. I think it's like maybe high C tier if anything else.
Not disrespect my dog,
not
Zoldyck
disrespect.
family like that.
Bro, y'all would disrespect and specify slot. Hold on, bro. Nah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think Illumi sets at B tier. I think it's like, if anything, it's like maybe high C tier if anything. Cause like
Okay.
the thing
It
is
was
like,
B on release, you can agree. Maybe
yeah, I'll say B on release, but if you look at everything that came out since then,
today. It's
it,
today.
it can't keep up. It can't keep up, man. Like I can, like, you have so many 2 AB cards that come in already set to active, compared with this Silva that, good, it has snipe and everything of that nature, but I still have to wait a whole turn before I can start doing anything with it. And that whole
That's
turn
fair.
could be the difference between me winning that game or my opponent just swooping this game under my feet because I just took too long to do it.
You know, I think you do make a good point. When it
Yeah,
comes
no,
to
you
that.
got a good point. You got a good point, man. I'm thinking about the day that it was out, dude. I haven't seen the deck in a while either. But I will say, it does have some stuff going for it. It's not hopeless by any means.
It just needs that bit. It needs that volume 2 help, definitely.
Volume 2 help, that's literally it. But yeah, Zoldyck family, don't count it out. Don't count it out. It could surprise you. All right, let's see. And then we've got Kurapika. We discussed him. I think we more or
F
less
tier.
got our feelings about Kurapika over with the
F tier.
start of this.
This deck is trash.
Definitely not an F tier. Definitely a slower deck, closer to Yamamoto, but it is pretty nasty. And while it does take time to set up, and while it is slow, you can have some games where you're like getting cards out set to active faster than you realize. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you gotta get lucky. It's a bit of, I would say it's more of like the high roll. I almost wanted to make that its own tier. Because like Blue SAO is amazing if you high roll.
Yeah.
Sukin is awesome if you high roll.
high
I've had
roll.
so many games where I just don't see a finger. I don't get it.
Mhm.
But we're not gonna do that because luck is a factor in every category in every deck. What do you guys think on Kurapika? What do you think about A or B in today's meta?
Oh,
I 100% agree on A tier because
hold on now.
this man
shit.
has so much impact. Every single card that is a Kurapika has impact, and then when you put in his kill card on top of that, the Emperor's Time, giving
Type
him
impact goes to every Kurapika nearly.
exactly, and an extra 3 KBP, which means every Kurapika that has impact is getting over something.
You're
and
sniping
getting
Colossal
impact
Titans,
off.
bro.
For real, easily.
You're sniping Colossal Titans. There's some specials that can't touch that man.
That's
Oh
what I'm
man.
saying.
All right,
Like,
R, let's hear the hate. Let's hear it. He's holding back.
Oh my god, this deck is freaking. Why this deck is this, bro? Okay, I'm gonna put my hate aside just for this tier list video. I think in the current meta, Kurapika stands as the gatekeeper between what makes a deck A tier and above versus staying at B tier. I feel as though whenever I look at a new deck that comes out, I think to myself, can it beat Kurapika consistently?
That's
And
so
if-
funny, dude. It's been a few months since I've done that because I don't know what's the best anymore. There's so many options, but that's something I did a lot too. I was like, how does it stand against Kurapika though?
Yeah, and that's the really determining factor if it's good or not. It's like, okay, can it beat Kurapika? Yes, all right, this deck is good. It can beat it consistently. Does it have a hard time against Kurapika? It's not as good as we want it to be because
And
current.
the rush decks, the multi-attack decks, they're probably gonna all beat it because it is a slow deck at the end of the day. That's easily its biggest downfall. It does need a couple turns to set up usually, longer than normal decks.
But at the end of the day, I can tell you there's so many times, even when I'm like playing Esper Sisters and all of a sudden I go against Kurapika and I'm like, bro, like you just played 2 Embers time. There's 4 Kurapikas on the field with 4 KPP. They're not even the raid Kurapikas. They have Impact, Snipe,
Right.
you're scrying 2 cards or drawing cards. I'm like, bro, what's going on right now, bro? Like,
And it's got that printed 5K, which if your opponent, if there's just that one turn where they just don't have their removal in their hand and you've got a printed 5K to block with, it is nice, man. It's crazy.
yeah, and I'm like, bro, this is stupid, man. But all hatred aside, the deck.
I real quick, I do want to say, I don't want to be too caught up in nostalgia. Is it like the pinnacle of B tier today? Or is it still like an A tier deck? What do you guys think? Because I'm open to both.
My hater instinct is going to put it at the pinnacle of B tier. I would say it's at the top. It's like he is the gatekeeper on you. You gotta beat him to get to A tier. If you can't beat him, you staying in B tier and below. Like, get out of here. You're not that guy, Plow. You're not that
What do
guy.
you think?
See, it's funny. I was actually going to say leave him at the bottom of A tier because I still think he's an A tier deck.
Mhm.
But you know, he is the gatekeeper again, so nothing's getting past him. They don't deserve the A tier rank. But I do like R's perspective on putting him at the top of B tier because
Yeah, I like it.
look at the One Punch Man anime. What was his name? I can't remember his name, but there was a one hero that was at the top of one of the ranks just to make sure that certain people didn't pass him.
I know exactly who you're talking about. That freaking model.
My mask.
Yeah, my bad. I think that was his name. And he literally stayed at 8. He was an S tier hero, but he literally stayed at 8 tier because he's like, I need to make sure no trash people get into S tier.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think.
Speaking of, I can't wait for the next season, dude. Isn't that in like October? It's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's coming up. I can't wait.
I can't wait
It's
for
gonna be
it. I hope they do it justice, bro.
All right, I like that though. Kurapika's the gatekeeper of B tier, definitely. And again, there's gonna be plenty of decks that just outspeed Kurapika. Like even like I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure even like blue ALO could stomp Kurapika. Because at the end of the day, every deck has their counter, right? I would assume.
Yep. Like,
If yellow One Punch goes up against green Bleach, that's probably its worst matchup, realistically, right? All right, Green Gone. I'm not gonna lie. I think I had some fun with this deck. I think it got overshadowed by Kurapika. I think it's a fine deck. I think it works today.
Yeah, I agree. I did build Gone as well because I like my boy. He's a cool guy. He just wants to go
He's a cool
fishing.
He just has impact every turn as well. You know, it might not be snipe.
Yeah, it's definitely not snipe, but you know he's still doing some damage. That's
Right.
good.
You know, and like, dude, it's crazy when your opponent's just swinging with impact over and over. Like, you start getting low on life, and it gets scary. And like, having multiple raids, 2 raid gones with so many raid gone targets. Its biggest weaknesses are, unfortunately, the most important parts of the deck. The gone special sucks. Fishing Rod might be the worst special in Union. You can only kill your highest BP on the field, like equal to. So like you need a 5K to kill a 5K, etc. And then the color trigger gone, terrible card. Have you guys seen that card? Do you remember?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's so disappointing.
I hate that card. with
Not
a
worth
passion
2 action points at all.
at all. Not
I
even.
actually, with those in mind, one of my last builds, because it's been months since I tried the deck, was actually with like the color Kurapika and Snipe. You just throw in enough Kurapikas with that special, and it works. You know what I mean? Removal is removal. So overall, I think it's good. I think Kurapika way overshadowed it because it's just got way more on release. But I think it works, and it's gonna get way good with Volume 2.
100%, especially with all the Gone and Friends support that's going to be coming out in Volume 2.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
then-
like the main deck of green, right?
Yeah, it's all that they're going to be talking about in Volume 2. Essentially, is Gone and his fellow friends that he went on
His
a journey
fellow
with.
friends. I mean, there was Going in Friends in Volume 1. It's just it wasn't enough. It wasn't.
Yeah, it
enough.
wasn't that.
It was
Kurapika
mostly
wanted
Gone.
to go to York New and do his own thing.
Yeah, I feel as though that's just one of those decks that once Volume 2 come out, it'll get significantly better. Because it'll be like, all right, this is how Golden Friends supposed to be played. Let's actually make cards to support it while not having this nonsense in the mix.
All right. Well, I think so. You guys good with that though? Bottom of B, or do you think it's more of like a C tier right now? I think it works in B.
I think it works in B too. I do feel like Gone doesn't get enough credit, So I feel like we should give him a little
Yeah,
something. And
let's
leave
give
to
him what he
be.
deserves here. So that is Hunter x Hunter then. Now we've got Jujutsu Kaisen, which actually did get a volume 2 recently, so it's gonna change some stuff. I know we've all pretty much experimented with like most of these decks, I imagine, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Holy shit, there's more here than I realized. I didn't really. I know it's like Mechamaru's deck, but I feel like it's more Toto's deck. They're both together though. I think we can agree.
Yeah.
Obviously. All right, well, I guess starting over here though, Yellow Megumi. I really liked this deck in Volume 1. It was missing some stuff for sure. Removal and like the triggers sucked. But I think it got some pretty good support. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough in my opinion. But when the deck goes crazy, it goes pretty freaking crazy. I definitely think it would be like maybe like around B tier deck, maybe around here. What do you guys think for him?
At first in Volume 1, I definitely probably would have put him in D tier. Only because like he was missing like a lot of tools, and every deck I play tested against him, he was just kind of getting stomped. And I'm not sure if it was just me not knowing how to play the deck or, what it was.
I think I would have put it above D in Volume 1 for sure, but I think Volume 2 definitely helped it a lot, no question.
Yeah, having that Megami that comes out and is able to kill something, it helps tremendously. It was then beating decks that I was struggling to beat before in Volume 1, and I'm just thankful that my boy Megami is actually getting some appreciation in
I
Union
know,
Arena.
bro. And he's yellow, so we got that color trigger, so great deck. All right, Yellow Gojo, man. This deck is awesome, but man, was it not what I thought it was going to be.
I don't know, really. It does have some good. It has some potential. It's just I feel like it doesn't have enough in order to push itself like super high where I would expect it to be. Like honestly, before it even came out, I was expecting it to be probably an A tier deck, maybe even a top tier deck. But like, I don't know. I feel like he struggles a little bit to keep up with some of the higher paced decks because he requires so much energy in order to get like out his big plays. And because of that, since like half your deck is like 4 or 5 energy, you don't really have enough generation to get to that point and consistently stay at that point. And if you're going up against a deck that is able to pull your energy line cards to the front line or push your best cards into the energy line and get rid of stuff, then your deck is just not going to be able to do anything.
Oh yeah, dude. No, my biggest issue with the deck too was like basically if you went up against any deck that removes stuff outside of the special, you kind of lost. Because you basically need a turn where you have a Gojo and or a Gato, just one of them survive because you also played a what's her name?
Rika?
On the energy line. Amani, is that her name? Riko Amanai, that's her name. Riko Amanai.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, there were so many games though where like I was playing just one of the many decks that remove outside of the special. It's this thing, and yeah, like I just could like they would kill my whole front line because they knew my plan, and they would pull like the energy generator goes forward on her own, and it was just the worst feeling ever with no raid options, dude. Oh, it was like 'cause if you're going up against a deck that's not removing your cards and you get to set her up, it's pretty crazy playing cards set to active with her. But man, there's a lot of decks that remove consistently.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll add to this because you guys are right on the money with the fact that it just takes a lot of time to pop off, and even if you pop off, if they figure out what you're trying to do, they kind of can counter your whole game plan. And to add to it, I feel as though that with the Gojo specifically, he kind of lost the identity of what the deck is trying to do between Volume 1 and Volume 2. Because if we look at the Volume 1 Gojos, you kind of, the point of Volume 1 Gojos, at least in my opinion, were like set up for like Infinite Void, being able to rest your opponent's characters, and then like tax your opponent's character in some way, shape, or form, and to be able to start swinging in because they're so set far back, compared to the new Gojo build in Volume 2, where it's like say you want to play them in conjunction with Geto, and of course the Rikas, and like start trying to pressure down your opponent. The issue with that is yeah, and like you guys said, the issue with that, it just takes too long to set up, and when you're building the deck now, you're not really including a lot of the Gojo cards from the prior volume other than the color trigger. And to me,
who does get a lot of some, like, he looks really good in this deck, by the way, when he does come online.
Yeah, and he's good because like I said, you went from like, okay, do I want to rest with Gojo or do I want to like do some big body plays with Gojo? And this kind of ties into the next card on the list, which is Nabara, because Nabara's whole Snicks is resting as well.
Fair enough. And I think, yeah, and I think she actually got one new card in Volume 2 that I didn't try it out, but I think it would make her deck pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You get to like get a free. I think she's when played double energy gen Nobara. You get to get an event card back to your hand, a 2 or less, which is like a lot of her cards.
Yeah.
And like I haven't tried it, but like it just all looks like it would work more consistently because she's a raid card. She can slap damage 2 on with resting and removal. Like she has a game plan that your opponents can't really mess around with. Whereas like the Gojo needs your opponent to spare you for a couple turns. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So overall, between the two decks, it's just that
But you can mix some.
Yeah, you can mix them together. The Panda support does help these decks tremendously, especially in the bar, because it gives it the speed that it needs to keep pace. But on their own, the decks are just too slow to keep up with the current meta.
Does that mean she's like a B tier? I haven't tried her, but like I just wouldn't be shocked. And I have seen her in other decks work, you know.
I feel as though she can be towards like the lower half of B tier. Give like say if you add her with like say the Panda package and everything, you definitely not have a nice little fun deck. Like say you can rest, you got some damage, so you can swing for that damage too. The opportunity opens up, but I think that's the most you're gonna get out of her.
Man, and it's crazy if that Rico Ammonite did not have a restriction of 5 or less Gojos setting them to active. It's crazy how like I wonder if that 6 cost would actually like make the deck flow better, but like I feel like you just don't want to run him because of that, you know. It sucks, dude. All right, well, yellow JJK could work, could use some more love though. Now blue Jujutsu Kaisen and purple the pinnacles here. So let's see, so how I have this broken up basically is, so Yuji and Nanami are basically, I mean, are they in their own decks? They have their own specials, but obviously you're more going like Yuji and Sukuna at this point, you know what I mean? But then I feel like this starter deck Sukuna is just like every deck, every build of blue. Straight Sukuna, like basically because you're not really running the 7 with the Nanami, right? I imagine.
No. There's 2 variations. You either run pure Yuji Sukuna, which that case you're running the 7-drop Sukuna right here, and then you have like say your starter deck Sukuna and Nanami mix essentially.
And I feel like generally you don't have this raid Yuji in that build, huh? Because you just have so many other options.
Honestly, my build actually includes that Yuji because, like, say, it is more of a control card. Because the whole point of like pure Yuji Sukuna, you want to set the whole point is setting your opponent back as much as possible, so you can get to your game plan first. Even though you're more so on the later end, because you're bouncing jump out to your opponent's hand, they now have to take another turn to set up and another turn to set up.
So it's like these two, you really see a lot in both decks. These two are like the separators in the decks here, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Fair enough. Because I agree. Like I'll be building like a Nanami deck, and I'm like, man, I might just splash in like 2 Yujis. Like if he pops up from life, dude, it's a 4K removal. Play him on the right turn, removal. Like these are very universal cards right here for sure. So now with the Sukuna, I'm not gonna lie, he's not the most consistent, a bit high rolly. The 7 cost, if you don't get that 5 cost UG, if you're not seeing the right cards, it just like doesn't feel good, I've seen. I would say he's like an A tier deck for sure, Sukuna. What do you guys think? Pure Sukuna.
I think like pure Sukuna UG is definitely there up there at A tier. Cause like I said, you are able to get, even before you get to your high rolls, even like during like say the early stage of the game, because you have the other raid usage that's constantly bounce junk back to your opponent's hand, you're able to buy that extra bit of time that you need to get to your higher echelon of cards to start making your bigger plays.
Yeah, 100%. With Sukuna, if you're not having the fingers come out, if you're not able to go through your deck quick enough, then Sukuna does take a hit. But with pure Sukuna, that's pretty much your entire goal, is searching for those fingers and stuff. So you're able to get that out very consistently. And because you're able to get them so consistently, Sukuna does have that powerful ability, especially the 7 energy one that lets you draw a card, lower BP, and then kill something on the field. It's really
nasty if you get the right setup, because you either get the perfect setup, which is like a finger, a few low cost Yujis, the starter deck Sukuna, and you're like, bro, this is gonna be awesome. But then you start your next game and you're like, Malevolent Shrine, 2 7-cost Sukunas. You're like, kill me. You know what I mean? You don't see a finger for like 5 turns. So obviously there's high rolling, but I do feel like the consistency does hold it back some games.
Overall, I can see it being an A tier, because like I said, the whole point of the deck is like you want to get your fingers in the sideline, and I will agree.
Because of Sukunas.
Yeah, and I will agree, Sukuna is able to get their cards and their fingers into their side like quite consistently.
Definitely, definitely. Now, when it comes to Nanami, though, I feel like this deck is just so gross, dude. And it got such good support. I think this is definitely a top tier deck right here. And obviously the Yuji, too.
Yeah,
It goes
put
in every
that
deck.
at the top.
Dude, it's so good, bro. Even if it falls behind and it doesn't start with the right hand, it finds what it needs and it gets online. You can go with like again, the thing that can suck about this deck and any deck, the Sukuna, is like when you're trying to get the energy up, you can brick. You can fucking brick. You can just not see the energy and just sit with 7s in your hand. Whereas with this deck, your highest cost is a 4 if you're building it the right way. It's so nice, and you can just there's like 12 different raids you can run on the deck, which is just so gross at a 4 cost. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I would even say like say the Yuji up in top tier. I would swap that with the structure deck Sukuna, because a lot of variations of Sukuna Nanami will run
like all top tier, to be fair. Yeah, this guy kind of gets left in A tier.
Yeah, because like it for a deck that requires 15 less cards in their deck to really pop off, it's so quick on getting that.
Yeah, no, I know, dude. You're always running him for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, and not to mention, Nanami has the best special in Union Arena. Bottom deck your opponent's card, dude. Any 5k.
Bro.
Exactly.
Like that's just so beautiful. Like now you don't have to worry about accidental recursion. Now you don't have to worry about anything crazy happening.
Sideline abilities.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Like, I'm gonna put this at the bottom of your deck, and based on your deck, you're not seeing that for the rest of the game.
Right. And I don't know about you guys. I've never chose to put it on the top, but I wonder if it'll come into play ever. So Nanami's nasty. Draw power, consistency. I mean, I think with the new Volume 2, getting to 15 is consistent. Honestly, you can get to 15 in deck or less now. It's scary when that happens. And you have the other Nanami with the only reason I didn't use him is because this is the Volume 2 Nanami, the newer one.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That other one is so nuts when he comes online. Impact 1, damage 2, 5k. It's like, bruh.
What I do, like, yeah, we got a guy at the shop who's like, Sukuna is his deck. Like, he's a master at that deck. I'm convinced he can beat any deck with that deck. Like,
with the Sukuna deck, the 7 one.
Not that one. The Sukuna Nanami variation.
Oh, Sukuna Nanami. Yeah. Okay. No, hey, we have to call it the Nanami deck. We have to give him the respect. Not special. Sukuna's just there to draw.
Yeah. But the Nanami deck, he's actually cracked.
No, it's nuts. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, you know what's funny? I was playing this one guy a few weeks ago, and he tried splashing in the blue when attacking Gojos, when attacking draw.
Oh.
I was like, bro, you're crazy. But he's got a point. Like, if they're online and you've got this Nanami, if none of them die, you get 4 attacks off with 3 out of your deck. It's crazy, dude. I was like, fair enough. It's risky, but
yeah.
High risk, high reward.
All right, but yeah, top tier, very pinnacle definition of great Union Arena deck. Let's see, purple Toto and Mekamaru. I mean, it's Mekamaru's support, but it's Toto's deck. Man, I think this is definitely a top tier contender, no question. What do you guys think?
I have to agree. With Mekamaru there to back him up, there is like nothing stopping Toto from like even slowing down a little bit. He's able to get out, he's able to move fast, he's able to switch things around on his side of the field and on the opponent's side of the field, and he's just a menace.
Dude, dropping a boogie woogie, like best special to drop ever, dude. It's like, come on, bro. So nice. And then yeah, what was I gonna say? Like the support I got was so good because it was already pretty good at the beginning, just because to this day it's still one of the only decks that has the full freedom to target your opponent's energy line. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have had some cards that do target your opponent's energy line recently, but they have that restriction that it can't be a double energy generator. Toto says, I don't care if you're trying to get to 7, boogie woogie. And it's such a good feeling, nearly breaking your opponent some games. And I've even had games where like I get their not only get their energy so low, but I'll put like a 4K body that was on the front line to their back line, but they can't push it up now because they're down to like 3 energy. So it's like it's such a good deck with the removal and the damage 2. It's doing everything for sure. Pinnacle top tier, we agree, or somewhere in top tier. I think what is Pinnacle? I don't want to organize top tier. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a different video. That's a part 3 video.
These
right
kind
there.
of fall into place, but man, that might be a tournament video.
Yeah. I would say Boogie Woogie Toto is like interchangeable between top tier and A tier.
What?
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah. Like
I'm ready to hear it.
I'm gonna be real. Like I said, it's just like like, because the thing is like, don't get me wrong, Ultimate Mech Raw is pretty nice. It's good. The thing with this that it's mainly for like say countering Pacific decks. Like you have Pacific decks that based off of like, hey, like Dark Triad for example, you need your site to win. All right, bet I'm gonna get this Ultimate Mech Raw. I'm gonna play down Kira's site. Now how you gonna win?
Does have site removal, yeah, true.
Yeah, but other than that, he kind of just like said like, you don't want to see Mecha Mario, Ultimate Mecha Mario against certain decks. Like, and unfortunately, we play a lot of decks that don't rely off a site to get their game plan going, or as part of their win requirements.
Well, he can remove bodies too, though, which is really nice. He doesn't just have to remove site cards, and he has other cards that play really well into that ability too. So I'll be honest, man, Mecha Mario, I think you're not giving him enough credit, dude. He's nuts, bro.
I mean,
and he can kill out of life.
He can.
He can win. Yeah, dude. Yeah, he can kill a 35 out of life, bro, when rated. Yeah.
Like I said, I feel as though there's more RNG that plays in the role. Like I said, hitting those raids in order to start utilizing the nasty mechanics and stuff. My I guess my question is how consistent it is at doing that against the more top tier decks like say Sakuna, Squad Zero, and like say Roy Mustang when we get down to it.
I think you'd be surprised, bro. I think you'd be surprised. It has a lot of double energy generation and a lot of draw power too from like the Miwa and stuff. So yeah, and you know what's crazy? I've stopped using the card, but the guy who got top 16 with the deck has two of them. The Goodwill event raid out of sideline.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
See, I think
Man.
Goodwill event is actually really good card.
Yeah, don't forget about that because again, playing out of sideline, your opponent thinks they're good because they killed your card. Sorry, but guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah, no. So no, I think Purple Toto. I think you'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised, Zara.
I'll give my man.
Trust me. Now this one might be an interesting conversation. The Purple Cursed Spirits decks. Have you guys seen this deck at all?
I have worked on it countless times in Volume 1, and I couldn't find the formula for it until Volume 2 came out, where I think I started understanding it a little bit
It's
more.
not Beach here, by the way. I was just moving it. Continue.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much, Mahito is so weird. He has to kill stuff off to get his best effects. He has to have transfigured humans in the deck to really showcase his true potential. And the fact that we have so little transfigured humans does hurt the deck a little bit, but it doesn't hurt it too much. It's still able to do what it needs to do at a consistent-ish rate. And it's similar to the finger thing where if you don't see the transfigured humans, you're kind of out of luck because what are you going to do without the transfigured humans to activate your effects on? So the main thing is that the Volume 2 Mahito really helped out the deck because of his abilities. Let me try to pull it up real quick because I want to read it off exactly to make sure I'm, getting everything right.
You're good. Yeah,
So,
I barely remember him.
So when played, you get to sideline 2 characters on your field that's not Mahito, but you cannot sideline characters with the same name. However, if you sideline 2 characters, you get to draw 2 cards and then choose a character on your opponent's front line to lose 4k BP till the end of turn. So that's a 4k BP killer or a 5k nerfer. You get to draw 2 cards and then you get to sideline 2 cards, and based on a lot of cards that are in purple, you get 2 sideline effects on that ability.
Yeah. There's a lot of good options. Yeah, no, for sure, bro. No, I agreed. I had a friend who was playing it at locals a lot in Volume 1, and he was popping off with it, dude. It was scary. And I haven't seen him with it in Volume 2. I know he's probably going to whip it out soon. But, bro, yeah, no, I think it has a lot of potential. I don't think it gets enough love. It has raids. It has really good draw potential, and like the win sideline abilities when they stack can be really, really nasty. Doesn't it also have like extra attacks with the domain, I'm pretty sure?
Yes, it does. You're able to kill something off on the front line and replace it with something from your sideline active.
Yeah, dude, yeah. So with so many other Volume 2 cards, I don't think it's a bad deck. Where would you place it? You've built the deck more.
I'd put it B tier, honestly, where you accidentally
yeah,
put it.
I think I liked it. Where I accidentally put it. Yeah, I was like, I'll just put it up while we talk about it. I think he's like perfect for it. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it failed you at times and you didn't get what you wanted out of it, but it's got raid cards, it's got removal, it's got board pressure. I think it could easily stand out, especially like I'm sure if we play tested it, I'm sure we'd end up moving it up. I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't play tested it enough to confidently do that.
Yeah, what really opened my eyes to it was a comment on one of our videos when I was starting to kind of dog on Mahito. I was like, okay, hold on, let me take a second, let me go do some research, make sure I'm doing things right. And then as soon as I did the research, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm seeing where they're coming from. Rebuilt the deck. I'm like, yeah, this deck is a lot better than what I was giving it credit for.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I need to not count decks out just because I haven't personally tried them, But when you look at the package, you're like, okay, this has got to be able to do something.
Couldn't say any better than that. Like I said, I haven't had much experience with the deck. That's all on V's alley. He's the one that really took my code to the limit when we were testing it out. And honestly, that's the fair evaluation of it, putting it in B tier.
Hell yeah. But yeah, no, I could definitely see it popping off and pressuring your opponent. Now, with the other Cursed Spirits deck, Red, man, I looked at this deck and I was kind of disappointed with it. I don't think this might be a D tier right here. I'm not going to lie. Have you guys looked at this deck?
It's so tough to get it started.
It's so tough.
It's so hard. Like, you have to get everything specifically set up.
No raids, no set to actives really kills it in my opinion.
Exactly. And the only way you can get anything.
Yeah, were you about to say the way to do it?
Yeah, so pretty much Ghetto, he banishes stuff from the sideline to steal their effects, pretty much. So if you do have your Dagon in your sideline, you're able to switch him to active the second he comes out.
That's right. So Dagon can restand himself, and Gato can still steal that ability.
Yes.
Right.
But you have to have...
Otherwise, everyone's coming out rested.
Yeah. Literally, the only other thing, the main requirement is that you have to have 5 or more energy generation. And if you lose that energy generation,
dude,
all your effects are pretty much gone.
I think my brain chose to forget playtesting this deck. It was just tough, man. It looked really fun, too. Like, you're able to steal the abilities from the Cursed Spirits. I was like, oh, this is sick. They got some cool abilities, too. Removal on, like, the... who is it? The Jogo didn't look terrible either. Yeah, I was like, this deck doesn't look bad. Or damage 2 or whatever. You could do. Oh, and then you can set up the classic impact 1, damage 2 on Gato. You'd assume consistently, but you'd be disappointed.
Yeah, if you don't have the cards in the sideline to exile or banish or remove from the game, then you do not have anything you can do.
And then you drop down to below 5, and it's just a bad feeling.
Hey, I played this against D a lot. I seen the disappointment on his face when it's
No.
Don't get me started on the kill card. The kill card,
dude.
The kill card, it's nice. It's just the fact that I can't draw a card unless the card I kill is specifically 5.
Oh yeah, the Prison Realm. Yep.
It's like, right. What am I?
I know, it's like you guys really wanted to make this like a Gojo themed card, like way too much.
Yeah, they put too
right
much
because the red deck that we're about to talk about is about getting Gojos into the removal. So it's almost like they made the special for this deck based off of what the other deck's doing. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Like,
anyways, against each other.
They try to keep the theme, but in doing so, they just killed the deck.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? I think, oh my gosh, that's kind of like, I don't know about these two because I haven't really. Bomber's its own thing, but like the Krollo deck, that's kind of what they like. Krollo can't copy his own abilities. Why would he be able to search for himself and copy his own win plays and stuff? And it's like, well, have you seen the anime?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. They're getting killed by cannon. All right. So red, the other red JJK, the last JJK deck here. We've got the red Gojo, red Jujutsu Sorcerer deck. I did enjoy this deck, honestly, especially the Yuji. Have you guys seen it?
I had someone at the shop let me borrow their deck, and I did play it a little bit. It is a fun deck.
I haven't had much experience with it, honestly, so I'm gonna be a lost cause in this explanation.
That's fair, bro. I don't think many people were looking at red JJK, unfortunately. I mean, we had Toto, we had Sukuna, we had Nanami. Like, bro, it got left in the dust.
You have the bigger decks getting more, like, better cards, so no one was really looking at the new color.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So I play tested it, and it isn't terrible. It isn't bad. It is pretty good, and it can be a lot of pressure too, because the Yuji can get double attacks in. It has some pretty solid removal and stuff. I believe it's the Nobara who's like removing stuff. I forget the deck. Oh yeah, the Black Flash special plays kind of well into it. Yeah, and the Gojos honestly weren't terrible. Them removing themselves kind of sucked. But, like, there were some pretty decent games you could get off with the deck. I would say it was... I almost want to put it bottom of B, but I'd also say, like, a higher C tier deck.
I honestly was thinking C tier more so than B tier. Only because of, like you said, the Gojo removing himself. It's a fine card. It's just, it really sucks when you play your Gojo and then your opponent says, all right, I'm going to summon 2 4K BP characters. And Gojo's like, well, I'll see you later.
I only have to play 4K bodies? Well, that was my plan. And the raids. And it's like, oh my God. Well, no, I feel that, bro.
The game.
But yeah, it could be a really good deck. And again, red is the newest set in Volume 2. I think inevitably we can guarantee a Volume 3 JJK will come out when the new season drops eventually one day. So when that happens, this deck will get support, and I can imagine it gets pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so with that, diving into Code Geass, you guys are going to more or less take the wheel on this one, because I've seen the decks, but I haven't really play tested them, or this is like my least knowledgeable set. But I do know that purple has reigned supreme for a while since release. Where do you guys think purple Code Geass stands today?
I think purple Code Geass still stands at A tier currently, as it's still pretty dominant against even against the top tier decks. So I think that's a good spot for it, because even though you're dealing with a lot of cards that have 2 AP costs in it, it's kind of like a similar case with, like, say, Blue Rukia, where it's like you're playing a lot of other cards that makes playing the 2 AP cards worth it, because now it either makes other cards 1 less AP, or it just flat out makes cards free. And Purple Gwen has a lot of removal outside of just its normal kill cards. Whether it's like, say, playing like the Colin and forcing your opponent to, like, say, hey, you gotta block
impact.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
I hate that card.
Yeah.
I've seen the deck.
Yeah. So it has a lot of ways of being able to not only pressure your opponent, but also take out your characters even beyond just straight up kill power. Because it's like Colin's like, I'm like, you don't want to block this, but you're gonna block it anyway, and I got impact.
And I'm taking a life, yo.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, with all that said, I've also seen the defensive power of just this raid card here. When played, drop everything by 1k, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And like, dude, getting that on defense, oh my gosh, dude. Your opponent had all these 4Ks he was about to swing with, or whatever, and then they got dropped down. You can block them all now. Like, it can be a really gross card on defense, I've seen.
Exactly. So really, its triggers really do escalate the power of this deck and giving it more situations where it's just like saying like, hey, I'm not able to survive this turn. I'm able to keep all my
every card on your opponent's front line. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're about to onslaught your opponent. They top deck this Gwen from life. Yeah, your attack phase is over.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things about Gawain is that you don't have to force yourself to play a bunch of Lelouches, because Gawain raids on top of not only Lelouch but C2 as well. So you are able to bring out Gawain no matter who you have on the field available to you.
That's right. Y'all see that slash? Not a lot of raids have this.
Dude.
Yeah, I think
That's
this is like actually
crazy.
the only raid that has it right now.
Yeah, like the only thing, the card that comes to mind is like Kenpachi's special trigger that you can choose
Yes.
2 different names with now. But you're right. Yeah, there might not be a lot. If anything, this is the only one, and that is so good. You're right. When do you not have a raid target on the field? Oh, imagine that. I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's just one of my favorite things personally about the Gawain deck is that versatility with it, because now I'm not scrambling to have at least 1 Lelouch on the field. As long as I have 1 of 2 characters, which double practically the amount of cards in my deck that I can have on the field at any given time, then I'm set.
Fair enough. And then so what do you guys think is holding it back from top tier in today's meta? Because obviously people would have put this in top tier.
I think it's just one of those situations where it's just losing the power creep, honestly. Like I said, we don't have volume 2 yet, but it is around the corner. But like I said, when you look at all these decks that are currently dominating the meta right now, they're so far just decks that had their volume 2s come out to give it that extra bit of power to push it into that next level.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know. With some of like the power creep, it literally just comes down to like the amount of triggers that you have now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're running a deck that has like say like 6 triggerless compared to another deck that's playing like 10 triggerless. Yeah, you're popping your triggers a whole lot more in life anyway. So that's really just the case. Not saying that it can't keep up with top tier decks, but we gotta admit it's still a volume 1 deck as compared to volume 2 decks currently out.
Until like what, next month?
Yeah, until next one. So
like literally a week from today, pretty much.
Yeah, a week or 2 from today.
No. A week or 2 from today's. Oh, it is Code Geass and Attack.
Yeah.
I'm so focused on AOT. You're right. Again, this is like the one set that I just haven't paid attention to. Oh my god, never mind, guys. Yes, ignore their placements in the tier list in a week.
Yeah,
but
they
obviously
they get a bunch of 2 action point cards coming out in volume 2 as well, so they're going to have a lot of extra 2 action point cards to put into their decks to get benefits off of. So
hell yeah. Now this other purple one that you guys mentioned, I haven't really heard much about or seen. Is there a reason for that?
It's not the greatest.
Oh boy.
It's
not
good.
just overshadowed.
It's good. it's just not great. You know, it's not consistent. It requires a lot of effort to do anything with. You
I
do
don't think I
have
know
some.
anything about this deck.
So pretty much, you have these group of people that can all raid over like pretty much one particular raid, and it allows them to
Mm.
search for themselves as well as the main raid, which is going to be your Toto, and he's going to be able to, once he's raided out, give access to all the other four holy swords, which is the name of the deck. He pretty much buffs all of their BP up by, I believe it was like 500 or something like that. It's a small
Yeah.
number, but it does add up. And then when he attacks, he's able to restand any of those four holy swords that did attack previously, so that you're able to get more attacks through. So,
Okay.
so he does have that thing of we're buffing, we're stronger together, and we're getting multiple attacks through. So it's good to see. It's just not. It's not one that you see a lot of because it's not super consistent.
Gotcha.
So,
Where do you think this one places?
I might say D tier.
Damn, it's that bad. It's not even like C tier. I see a raid. I feel like. Well, I mean, they're all raids, but
Like, I'm dancing around the C tier, like bottom of C tier specifically.
yeah.
But like, I don't
These
know.
decks
I feel
all
like,
have more potential.
yeah, no, they
Yeah.
have way more potential than I think Turner does.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
All
Like,
right.
nowhere to
I'll
say to
trust your
say.
word on that, dude. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Well, maybe it's support in Volume 2 then, I imagine. It's not just this deck getting purple support, I imagine.
Oh no, yeah. Four Holy Swords do get a good amount of support in Volume
yeah.
2 as well. So we will
All
be
right.
seeing probably an enhancement on this
A
place.
little bit, at least up to C or B. We'll see. All right, and then we've got the Lancelot deck. This is one I've seen. I imagine it's kind of like in Kurapika's position. I'm guessing it's got a great kit, just a lot to build up to at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I would say Lancelot and current people kind of go hand in hand. They're both great decks. Don't get me wrong. I played this deck heavily, and I like that this deck is capable of doing. It has a lot of good tools to be able to hit that 8-cost energy requirement to bring out your main Lancelot, and it's fairly consistent with it. It's like a similar case with Kurapika though, that it does take time to kind of build up. So when you're going against faster decks, it kind of just lose out to it. You either gotta, it's kind of, you gotta be lucky to have things to keep yourself alive until then, or hopefully your opponent didn't draw everything they need to kill you by like turn 3 or turn 4.
But it is obviously like once the deck gets online and it has the energy it needs, it's pretty amazing, I imagine.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
you're able to pressure down your opponent with your big mecha bodies. Like I said, the 8-cost Lancelot, once it's rated, not only if it has damage too, but it also just flash out kill a card on top of that. So that's additional removal on top of your special triggers already. And then even the Suzakus that support it, they have like a lot of effects to help you get into it, like being able to draw cards. The Lois and the unit maintenance are able to just search for more cards. You also have the Euphemia that protect the 1-drop Euphemia that protects it when you're swinging for life. So that way, if anything was to happen, it targets the Euphemia, so keeping your Lancelots alive as well.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, so it has a lot of tools, and I would say it is fairly consistent of utilizing its effects. It's one of those situations though where it's like if you're playing against a faster deck, it's gonna lose out to it.
Yeah. Truthfully, I would think A tier for it because
Ooh,
it is a really strong deck. It does have a lot of potential with it. And like R was saying, you know, he has damage too. He kills something when he comes out, and he has impact as well. So your opponent does have to make that choice to take 2 damage or take 1 and lose a character. And not to mention that you also have other cards that pretty much do support the thing, like the leader, Charles Britannia or something like that. Pretty much where you get to look at like cards in your deck, and then when you bring pretty much your next event card comes out for like 1 action point less. So if you have a 1 action point card coming out, you pretty much get to play a card that restands your AP, for example, for free, and then get more plays off of it.
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
And then that was something I did hear about it in comparison to Kurapika, was that it just had better options for as far as like double energy generation or just helping you get to the position you need to be in.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like you say, you have a card that's like you say, unit maintenance, where if you discard a card, it makes the energy generation from 1 all the way up to 3. which of course,
damn.
and because of that, I justify playing unit maintenance as like a Fora because I want that card. I want to see unit maintenance because that's gonna help me get to my Lancelots, and the other unit maintenance I have in my hand, I can just use that discard for the one that's already out onto the field. So putting it at like the lower end of A tier is definitely a good bet for Lancelot because it has a lot of tools and it's pretty consistent at getting to that point to where once you see your megas, your Lancelots, the game's done at that point. Like you're
No, I know the card's doing a lot, dude. He's crazy. Then what is this other green deck? I have no idea what this is.
So
All right, or you take over with this one because I know nothing about Cornelia.
Cornelia has a nice special place in my heart, and I really like what the deck does. You're kind of just playing your Raid Cornelias to like say bring out your smaller cards, or to like say bring out more fodders and more bodies
like
out
one
on
of those weenie rush decks, sorta.
Yeah, it's a weenie rush deck. That's the best way to describe it. And the issue with it is that it doesn't have a lot of kill power. You're kind of just hoping to rush out small bodies to be able to get your opponent down low enough to kind of steal the game away from them. So if you have a good pilot behind it, it can definitely compete with like say B tier and even A tier decks. But top tier decks is stretching it so far. So
you are thinking it is like an A or a B tier deck, though.
I can't put it there. I love it, but
damn, you're just saying it could compete on the right day.
yeah, it can compete, but you need to know how to pilot the deck to be able to maneuver through all the nonsense.
The honors then, sir.
I have to put it like high C. I'll put it at high C.
I'm gonna throw. What do you think? No way he's worse or better than Yuji, right?
I would say Gojo would beat Cornelia.
Damn. Okay. I mean, again, like you said, bro, this deck only suffers to removal. So if this deck's not removing consistently, Gojo's probably gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, again, the interchangeables inside the tiers is probably up for debate. But all right, the green code Geass deck that I'm sure people will continue to not play because this one is gonna get so good, I imagine.
Yeah.
Who knows though? Who knows?
You never know.
All right, now red code Geass. Now this is the top 15er. This is the this is the deck that I guess I never really heard much about, but people were aware of, the Ashford Academy deck.
Heck yeah, I love.
I think it's like
Academy
the
deck.
strongest weenie rush in Union Arena, from my understanding.
Oh, good. It's so good.
Looks scary, bro.
Do you know how it works?
I read it after it placed, and it's just constantly setting up set to active small bodies and buffing them too, right?
Yes.
And getting it out fast, right?
Yeah, your Ashford Academy site allows you to pretty much choose any character with 3K or less that was played in that turn and switch it to active. Nunnally pretty much does practically the exact same thing, is what I would say, except that's not the case. She just gives them impact, which is just as terrifying. You're able to switch to active and then pretty much give them impact, right?
Yeah, but you're also like playing these cards rested and then switching them to active for free, basically. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, no, I don't know if you did this or if it's common, but the top 15 or top 16 guy, he didn't even put finals in, no finals at all.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I low-key did run I do run finals.
I think it's crazy to cut them completely. I think that's
I've had thoughts of lowering my final count just to try to get a little bit more extra oomph in the deck.
I mean, that deck, it makes sense because you just want 3K bodies over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I just want to swing and keep going.
That's crazy, dude.
I completely forgot. I'm looking at some of the cards now, but there is another card, one of the cards that you can raid on top of with the main raid. When you play him, you get to play another card on the field as well that with 2 or less energy. And with cards that are 2 or less energy, they're typically less than 3K BP, which means Nunnally's able to target it for impact.
Wow. Because she's just that's like just active main, switch it to rest active, right?
Yes.
Jeez.
And
that's so crazy.
It's a terrifying deck to deal with if you aren't expecting the rush. So I'm honestly I'm down to say top tier for it.
I know, dude. I want to say no, but then like I'll play it and lose. I guarantee. Basically, it's not playing Union Arena. That's where this deck is.
Yeah,
it's in its own realm where it's like there's a chance I win next turn, and you have your 2 action points. Like, what did you just say? What? Did you just say what? No, I might win next turn. I'm gonna have 7 attacks. You're like, bro, what? Stop. I believe it, man. I saw it in the top 15, and after seeing what it can do, bro, I believe it, bro.
I don't know if you already discussed it or not, but there's a card that came out in JP version that made that deck way over the top that's not in the US.
Oh, is it that one that's banned in Japan? That's why we didn't get the ban for it, because we just didn't get the card.
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, that makes sense. I stopped wondering because I just didn't play Code Geass, but I was like waiting to see something about that ban. We just never got the card.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
they knew the
That's
deck was a serious
crazy.
problem. So they're like, let's just not bring that card out to the West. Let's just give it some time. I hope they give it some time and bring it out in the future when the
There's
game's
a chance
more.
we'll see it in Volume 2. Oh, wait, we got the English set. Do you know? Did it come out?
It did not. We did not get
So
it.
it might not even come out ever then. So yeah, it's safe to say easily this is the best Weenie Rush deck in Union Arena.
Yeah,
That's awesome,
Easily.
dude.
100%.
This deck would love to be like that.
For real.
It hopes.
Literally. No, that's crazy though. Yeah, no, I wanna try it though. Yeah, that's wild. All right, and then the Pizza Affinity deck. I've heard about this just being the other red deck.
Pretty much.
That's it. It's just right here next to Gojo, basically.
No. I would not say that. I would not say
Yeah,
that.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't
that-
know enough. I don't know enough.
That's a little
It's kind
disrespectful.
of like a joke deck, or at least that's how I was introduced to it until I saw its
I
power,
hear
and
that a lot.
I'm like, why'd you lie to me? Why did you say it was a joke deck? This is clearly not a joke deck. You
This
just
is not-
killed me.
Was the joke me? Am I the joke?
No, for real, 'cause- so pretty much it's all based around event cards.
Mhm.
And the event cards in particular have a certain affinity on them, which is pizza. And based on the amount of pizzas you have, the C2 that is on the card, it gets a different effect. And pretty much at 6 or more pizza cards in your sideline, which is very easy to get in the deck that you build, if you build it right, the card gets 1k BP. It's a 5k BP double attacker with impact that comes out active for 4
But
energy
you
2
need,
active.
but you need how many in the sideline for that?
6.
Oh, because it's one of those like tiered cards, right? Like you're getting multiple abilities per 2 in the sideline or something.
Yeah.
Damn, but if you don't get 6, it's just a nothing. Oh, it's that winner card, huh?
Yep. Yeah, that's the exact
I do
one
remember
is.
it. Yeah, because I remember seeing all those effects, thinking it was going to be good, but you need all those event cards.
Yeah, it's very tough, but it can work out
Okay,
very
so
well.
what do you think? Like slots or like D still?
I'd say a little bit above slots.
Oh, okay. Like it can do something.
Yeah, it can. It's just you do have to build it a right way in order to get it to that level.
Are any opinions on this deck? I know nothing.
Yeah, 'cause I
Um,
know Ars played it a little bit. He might have maybe he's had a better experience with it than I have.
honestly, honestly, I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest. I will put it. I personally will put it at the lower end of B tier because
Oh, okay, chill.
Hey.
There's no way.
hey, listen. You play a lot of piece of cards in the deck, and you are getting a lot of piece of cards into your hand to play out, and you are putting a lot of piece of cards in the sideline. So
Are we justifiably putting this
Here's
in
the thing,
B
there's-
though?
There's only 8 pizza cards
There's-
in the game.
Okay. It's C for now, but with the support, it'll get better, I imagine. Yeah, fair.
yeah, we can do that. We do that.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
hey, listen, if you think it's B tier, bro, I gotta see you play it. I see nothing but people talk shit about this deck, sadly.
Yeah, go on. All right, let's do it. You play Pizza Time. I'll play Ashford Academy.
Oh God, see who wins
Yeah,
faster.
bro.
See who wins faster.
Hey, man, I mean, we're gonna have to get our other homeboy. We won't say his name, but he's a Code Geass connoisseur, I should say.
Okay, he'd have some words for us if he was here.
Yeah, if he was here, he would know where exactly to put every Code Geass deck on this list.
Hey, listen, this is
Yeah.
top tier. I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
With that, Code Geass is placed, and we're officially at the part 1 stopping point. So if you guys want to, part 2, where we continue this off, finishing up the rest of the tier list, will be linked in the description. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. I think we're nailing these, honestly. Obviously, some could be interchangeable within the tiers more or less, but I think this is a good little like placement into like the general meta as to how a deck would look if you tried it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like we got a good understanding. Even for new people coming and looking at this current tier list, they can have an idea like, all right, what are the best decks? What are not the best decks? Where do I need to invest my money in to what deck I want to build so I can have a pretty decent time with the game?
Man, I feel bad for Byakuya. Is he really down here, bro?
You hate to see. I mean, realistically, I guess you could put.
No.
You can.
I don't know. I feel like he's higher. Like,
Yeah.
like looking at some of
He's
these
not
decks,
that bad. He's in purple
look at
bleach. You can
that.
splash in some good cards.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's.
He's
I mean, I
definitely
hate to
B
say
tier.
it, but-
He's definitely B tier, bro.
I think he's good. I'm gonna move him up. I just look at our C tier here, and Byakuya's like, bruh.
Yeah, I guess
Bro, you think I'm C? All right, bet. Fight me with slots. Let's do this.
All right, wait till Dousing Blood War Part 3 comes out. Y'all gonna get this word.
Part 3,
Oh
yeah,
my
I
God.
know.
I mean, yeah,
Hey.
because the next season comes out next year, right? So we could see a volume 3 soon.
Yeah.
No, literally, bro. I think Union is definitely setting up to maybe do synced volume 3s because none exist in Japan, and a lot of the ones that are coming out are waiting on new seasons. Like, it would almost work really good, you know?
Exactly. So the we have a whole bunch of options. Like I said, there's no
Yeah, it's
telling
gonna be
what they
dope.
can do.